you see me.
Okay.
I hop in, play some Yoshi Story, and I'm expecting this like platformer thing where you play as Yoshi, and I get to the end of the level,
Yep.
and then I do that for like 20 more levels, and
Yep.
then we call it good.
That is not this at all.
But I start playing, and I don't know what's going on, and I'm getting these fruits, and then it's like, you only have 5 fruits left. And then I eat 5 more fruits, and then it's like, okay, next level. I'm like, what?
And then his back breaks and he goes, and then all the fruit zoom into his face.
Yeah. And I'm just like, you eat all the fruit? That's what you do?
Yep.
Okay.
That's it. Do it 6 times, you're done.
Yeah.
You're out the door.
Very strange.
Yes.
I don't know what the coins are for. I don't know what happiness is. I don't know what's going on. The music starts playing guitar music, and the health flower is pulsating and smiling, and it's weird, and I don't understand what's happening. But I think that makes me invincible.
Okay. I think this game is a beautiful experience that does not really function as a game, or it functions as a game, as a different vision of games where the idea is just to be in a space and to play with things instead of trying to beat a level. Because of the concepts in this game, beating the level is like the lowest concept. It's like it's a given, but it is not the focus in any way of this game.
Yes. Yeah. Especially being a Yoshi game, because from what I understand, Yoshi's Island is beat the level.
Yeah.
And Mario has always beat the level.
Yeah. Even, I think Woolly World is kind of considered a pseudo-sequel to Yoshi's Story. And that game is just, get to the end of the level.
Yeah.
And you're done.
Yeah. Well, one thing that's also strange is that the level selection is almost like Star Fox 64.
Yeah.
Where you've got these pages, and then you pick which level you want to do on the page.
Right.
But you only unlock certain ones based on how many hearts you get in the level.
In the previous level,
In the previous level, yeah. That's really weird.
Yeah, so there's like this, I don't know what you would call it, like there's so many different variations of a playthrough of this game you could have, because you could do level 1-1, but then level 2-3, or 2-2, and it just kind of branches and it creates, a story, if you will, a Yoshi story. I think that's really cool, because this game is very short, so it's not like you just beat it and you're done. It kind of encourages you to go back and explore and see what else it has to offer without requiring it necessarily.
Yeah, that's something that I found really strange, is figuring out that this Yoshi's Story is a high-score game.
Yeah, that's cool though. I
found it very strange.
Okay.
And I didn't know, it didn't compel me to play more, because I didn't know why I wanted to get a higher score, because in early Mario games, those have scores too.
Yeah.
But the whole point of the game isn't just getting a score.
I see it as almost this different vision of what difficulty means, where it is on the player to decide if they want to do it in a difficult manner, because the, let's say, hard mode version of Yoshi's Story is you only collect melons because they get you the highest score, and there's a set number per level, and the idea would be you only get the melons in a level. And in doing so, you would be kind of exploring the level to its utmost, like you would be combing through the level. But that's not a system in the game. It's not like a menu selection or something. It's just something that you can kind of go after organically if you so choose.
Yeah.
Otherwise, forget about it.
Yeah, I think that this game would lend itself well to people who really like it from the get-go.
Yeah.
But if you
Like
don't
me.
like it the first time you play it, then what are you going to do? Play it 5 more times and try and get a better score?
That's the idea.
Yeah?
And I think it's illuminating, perhaps, that the specified goal of this game was to create a game for small children. Like this is something they've come out and said. Like, this was our goal. This is a game for people who have not played a lot of games yet.
Yeah.
And in that view, I think it's really interesting, just both for that view and also what that means to someone who has played a lot of games, to have this game that doesn't feature a lot of concepts we take for granted in games because it's not interested in that. It's interested in creating a play box for children to become familiar with the concept of like a platformer.
Yeah, when you frame it as being a kid's game, or a game structured with kids in mind, that makes me see it in a very different light. Makes me see it in a much more positive light, because I can see how a kid would enjoy going in and just getting the fruit if they want, or not getting a fruit here or there and seeing what else is in the level, because there's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, because like as a kid, there was this experience I would go through where I would rent a game, and there would maybe be a save file already, and I would jump in, and I would have no idea what's going on, and I would just kind of have to work through the concepts of this game that I would only play for a couple days and then return. And I feel like this game kind of embraces that and focuses on that experience through the whole game, where it doesn't explain a lot of things. It explains it kind of metered out through these little tip boxes that you jump into, but even just starting the game anew, there's like this period where you just do not understand things. And you're just gonna... And it's not something that games would do nowadays, I don't feel like. It's like this strange, bold direction to take for a platformer. But I understand how that would be a problem for people, but for me, it just lends this game this sort of freewheeling, kind of experimental energy that can lead you to just be in this room and you have no idea what's going on, and then you just sort of slowly figure it out. And there's not even really a reason to do what it's asking you to do, because maybe the reward is melons, but you don't care because you can get other fruit. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it still just encourages you to experiment, and just because the fun is just experimenting with these cool creative levels, it's not so much getting to the end of them necessarily.
I can dig that.
I just think this is a really interesting game from a game design perspective, because it breaks a lot of rules that, and I think it does so in a way that engenders my support.
Yeah.
I had fun.
Yeah, I don't think a game's really been made like this before or since, at least not by Nintendo.
That's the crazy thing. This is like Nintendo well, not like Nintendo, but like they gave the go-ahead to make this crazy game. On the N64! This 2D platformer.
Yeah, that's also really weird. When I was going in, I don't know really what I was expecting, because I haven't played any other of the 2D platformers that are on the N64.
Right.
So it's really interesting how it's basically just SNES graphics, it seems, but the animations seem to be really fleshed out, and something that the N64 hardware lets them do.
Yeah. I really like the use of, it's like crafting materials.
Yeah,
like
that's really cool.
Denim, and all the underwater stuff is cardboard, and that looks really good. And when I think of the N64, I don't really think of like good graphics necessarily, but in this context, I think it works really, really well for what they're going for. It's got that kind of like Donkey Kong Country, like, oh, this doesn't look great, because it's like a little sprite thing. Yeah. So, what can you do? But it runs really smooth, it's really colorful, the soundtrack is fantastic, even though it's the same song with different variations on it. But
yeah, it is.
What did you... Because I've always heard this game described as like easy, but I don't think it's easy. I just think it's kind of like, there were definitely times where I was like nervous because I was almost out of Yoshi's. And there's like little spikes where it's like really difficult.
Yeah, there were areas where I was definitely having issues. There was one where you have to climb around on clouds, and I was falling down a lot.
Yeah. But like the combat is good. Like because in Yoshi's Island the egg throwing is terrible. Because you like press a button and then the reticle goes up and down. And you just have to, time it. And this one you just aim and you
just aim. Yep.
It's easy. They like figured it out and then they made it worse again since then.
Oh no.
I don't know why this isn't the control scheme they came up with.
But it worked.
I question the smelling thing. I don't know if you messed around with that too much, where you're just like...
Oh no! What does that do?
If you hold R, he like smells, and then as you get closer, he gets like more excited, and then like a little exclamation point goes above his head, and then you can like do a ground pound, and maybe a melon will come out. But that seems like a bad thing, so I don't know.
Yeah, that does seem like bad thing.
The idle animation is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah, for the most part, all the animation is great.
yeah. The level select is amazing. It's just like these pop-up books and everything's going crazy and it looks awesome. And
Yeah. Yeah, those interstitials are really cool. The pop-up book aesthetic.
yeah.
The paper things just flying around. That's really cool.
They nail it really well for the animation.
Absolutely.
So obviously I'm very into this game. Where did you kind of land on it? Are you
I felt that it was a very okay game.
okay. Okay.
I didn't come out net negative, net positive. I felt it was, yeah. I mean, it was an experience.
Yup.
Reminded me of like Sonic Chaos. You know, it happened.
It happened.
It wasn't positive. It was negative.
Yeah. It's so much more memorable though. All the
Yeah.
just the
It is
environments.
fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, just like Star Fox Adventures is fascinating. You know?
Okay. This is some shade you're throwing on the game, but I get what you're saying.
But totally, yeah. This is more interesting than pretty much any game on this list.
Yeah, in a weird way.
Because people don't know what Yoshi's story is.
No, this game is forgotten. It does not
Yeah.
exist in the popular consciousness, but
I'm sure I know that I am not aware of like 80% of the N64 library.
sure.
And I'm sure that's probably the case with most other people.
Yeah. But this is like mainline Nintendo.
Yeah, it is, yep.
Yeah, it's weird. This is like one of my favorite N64 games, I think, but
Wow.
I'm negative on the N64, as we all know.
Wow, great job.
Yeah. This, well, you weren't so strong on it, but this game reminded me a ton of Mischief Makers. So if you're into this game, I would recommend Mischief Makers.
One of the other few 2D platformers on the N64, is that right?
Yeah, I can't think of another one. Those are the
No.
two I was thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
So...
How much more do you like Yoshi's story than any other game you've played?
Well... What would be your ceiling here
My ceiling?
for Yoshi's story?
Probably around Company of Heroes.
Okay.
What about you? You go higher?
Gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put it maybe between Psychonauts and Kingdom Hearts. But we don't have to put it there because obviously we disagree
Okay.
on the quality of product. Like, comparing it to Sonic 3 and Knuckles is an odd thing to do because they're complete opposites in terms of everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're also both kind of like late era, like wonky. Or I guess not super late era for Yoshi's. But I don't really know what the N64's lifespan was. It was like 96 to something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. What's also weird about this game is like the N64 launched with Mario 64,
Right.
which was like
The
3D
future.
game defining.
And then they're like, well,
And then they come out with
a
this
Super
game,
Nintendo
which
game.
is 2D and takes 2 hours, and
If that,
you just
yeah.
get fruit and go to the next part. It's very strange.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, Woolly World is kind of the same thing. I love that game, but it's just like a very basic 2D platformer.
Yeah.
20 years after they stopped making 2D platformers, so.
Yeah.
I like that the Yoshi, these like weird Yoshi sub-series is just like, we can make fun, cutesy platformers outside of any kind of trend or contemporary game design idea. It's just
Yeah, that's neat how they can set aside the Yoshi character to be like, okay, if you want to make a weird game,
I do.
we've got this character, you can shove it in there and you can have some fun.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Kirby's Epic Yarn, that wasn't initially a Kirby game.
Oh, okay.
And then they're like, oh, here, have Kirby, make it a Kirby game.
Yeah.
Okay, we could do that.
And it worked really well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel like this could boil down to, do we put it above or below Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
Okay.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah,
Is that a fair
I'm
fight?
okay with that. Absolutely.
Okay. Where do you stand on that issue?
Well, I feel like it was a very consistent, flatlined, alright experience for me.
Okay.
Whereas Company of Heroes had highs and lows.
Okay.
It dipped.
Yeah.
In some sections.
Like the tank mission.
Yeah. And this game's fine. Yoshi's Story's fine. It's got a couple boss battles.
Yeah.
It's got this cotton
sort of.
candy monster that you eat
Yeah.
until it goes away. That's pretty neat.
That's a fun boss fight because it's just like, we don't care. This isn't a challenge. It's just satisfying. Just do it. Do what feels good.
Just do it.
And you go to Limbo Island and it's just a bunch of Shy Guys.
Yeah, Shy Guys.
Yeah, Shy Guys are cool.
Yeah, they're like the characters that they sidelined to all the
Yoshi.
spin-off games.
Yeah. You don't want to eat the black ones, they make your stomach hurt.
Yeah, that's weird. That's racist.
I like, we were talking about Knuckles panting. In this game, you got Yoshi panting. He goes, yeah. So, that's a
Well,
plus.
Yeah, you gotta put it to the top. Alright.
Okay, between Company of Heroes and Sonic 3, does that sound
Absolutely.
appropriate? Okay.
Yep.
Well, cool.